have a lot of fun today. This is always the fun meeting compared to the other meeting. And we're going to start it off. We have our friends and partners from Coldwell Bankers with us. We have Amy Diller is going to do the report. We also have Jen and we have Christine here. So at the end of that, the three of you, if you want to stay for the whole meeting, you're welcome. But if you got a client or need to go to work, but then feel very comfortable doing that. First is Amy Diller. Tom, can you help her with that? Maybe it's a little button. Tom may not know how to do it himself.
Hello?
Okay.
All right, Tom.
Hi, thank you all for being here and enjoying the beautiful weather. First of all, did anyone catch the NCAA men's basketball game last night?
Yeah.
Wow, I got to watch the last 45 seconds and it was incredible. Yeah, it was wild. And that poor kid on the Houston Cougars, I felt so bad for him. And all I kept thinking was, gosh, I feel sorry for his mom. So anyways, but very exciting game. But it's almost as exciting as the real estate market right now. I wanted to share Smith Ranch. We're seeing a really strong first quarter. We've had 9 total sales, which is up from 7 from last year at the same time. And our team has completed 20 transactions totaling $32 million already this quarter, including Smith Ranch and outside. And here at Smith Ranch, we currently have 4 homes in escrow and 9 active listings. And looking at the broader Marin, there have been some shifts. The median home price has decreased about 12% from same time last year, but the number of homes have increased from 106 to 126. And the number of days on market have gone from 35 to 23 days on the market. Open houses are phenomenal right now and giving buyers lots of choices. So it continues to be a seller's market. Many people always ask about Villa Marin, and so I have those stats for you too. There are 26 units for sale at Villa Marin, which is about 10% of their total units. 19 of those are under 200,000, and 7 are under 100,000. They've had 5 sold and have 3 in escrow currently. I've also had some questions outside of Smith Ranch about the tariffs and how they might impact interest rates. And I looked up some data and they actually caused interest rates to drop a little bit from 6.75 to 6.5. And over the past 3 days or 4 days, the fixed rate has declined down to 6.4 and the 15-year is now at 5.89. So, but in closing, I'd like to leave you with this thought. There's no bad time to buy a home, only a bad time to sell.
Amy, let's see if there's any questions that anybody might have. No, okay, Dudson was first. Mike Dudson.
Has there been any effect on the sales process of the change in the buyer's broker commission rates? People thought when we saw this coming that it might depress prices overall. Have you seen any effect?
We have not. What we have seen is most sellers in Marin County and here at Smith Ranch continue to offer a commission for the buyer side.
Okay, Bruce.
If you go on Redfin, you'll notice that all the sales at Villa Marin are substantially below what they paid. Not only are they there for a long time, but by hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's one listed that has been on over a year, it's a 1-bedroom. It was listed originally for $160,000. They're giving it away now. It's listed for $14,000. Obviously not to cover, just so they don't pay the monthly fees. And there's a lot almost every sale is well below what the people paid 2, 3, 4 years before. Do you have a reason for that? Do you have any idea why that's the case then?
I don't know. I know Scott has talked to that in the past. I think it has to do with the qualifications and the medical, but I don't really know why that is causing that.
What I can add to that is there's a new director that's working there. She's been getting her sea legs under her for a little while. We're gonna have lunch in May, and I'm gonna have her here for a sandwich and just kind of talk shop. So I'd like to learn without really drilling in what are the problems, and I'll share in a polite way to the community on maybe what's going on behind the scenes.
Thank you.
And the reason for the interest rates going down when the tariffs is the pressures on the Fed to lower interest rates to try to bail the country out. That's why the mortgage rates pegged to the 10-year treasury, so when that goes down.
Thank you.
Other questions? I have one, Amy. You said that Marin prices are down from last year?
The data shows that they are down about 12%, but you got to keep in mind too, when they do just a cross section of a few months, you could have had a couple, $10 million homes sell at the same time that not so many condos sold. So it can just swing. Statistics are really interesting that way, that they can really skew.
Simultaneous with that, then, how are Smith Ranch prices? Are they staying stable, or are they going up, or how do we compare?
The 2 bedrooms and villas have gone substantially up over the history. The 1 bedrooms, because we had several of them at the beginning of the year, and those have come down a little bit, but they're holding steady, and we've got a lot of buyers right now.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for what you do, and we appreciate having the 3 of you as part of our team.
Well, thank you. We love being here, and we love you all to come up and talk to our tours. It's really so sweet, and sharing your positivity and your meals and everything you love about living here.
Let's give them a hand. There's one thing I do want to remind you of, is that we're trying every way we can to streamline the processes out here, to streamline the meetings so that we have meaningful meetings, but not as drawn out as some in the past. And one of the ways we're doing that, to remind you, is that we're having the standing committee chairs report 1 month, and the ad hoc committee chairs report the next month. And so that we're in the midst of that and seeing how that works. I'd like to have some feedback on that, either write me or write Scott, or how do you feel about that we're not having every committee report every town hall meeting. So we want to do what the residents want us to do, and that's one of the things that we are implementing now, and I would like some feedback on that. We'll start off then. We'll start off with Monica. Monica Thomas is our resident services manager. She's been on the board in that job for what now? 2 years?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, about 2 years, and she's doing a great job, and so we thought it's appropriate for her to make a report on what's going on in a very important area of resident service.
Yeah, hi everybody, good afternoon. I've got a little list of items that I just want to share with everybody, a report, an update, kind of what's going on around here, what's going on in the resident services department, which affects all of you firsthand. And the number 1 question I'm being asked right now, I bet you can all guess it. Who wants to shout it out? The directories, ding, ding, ding. The directories are with the printers right now. They just got approval yesterday to start printing, so that's the closest update I have for you. Those are hopefully going to be in my hand within the next couple of weeks, and then everybody that signed up will get one. There will be a few extras in case you forgot to sign up, but let me know if you're one of those people. And just remember that if you don't get a directory, you didn't sign up for one, you don't want one, or if you ever need an update, there are member directories on the website, so you can access all that information there, and you can always stop by the front desk and ask for an updated phone list. Alex can print that for you at any time, and if it's staff information that you need, we've got a list there that we can print you as well. Speaking of Alex at the front desk, she's been at Smith Ranch Homes since last October. She started in the admin department helping out there, went to dining services to be our reservationist. I know a lot of you miss her, but now she's at the front desk, and I'm very excited to announce that tomorrow will be her first day as an official Smith Ranch Homes employee. So I want to give a little clap for Alex. We're really lucky to have her and really enjoying her on our small but mighty team. So next, should we address the elephant in the room, or at least the elephant that's in my office? Unique Boutique. What is happening with the Unique Boutique space? Honest answer, I don't know yet, but I'd like to open that up to all of you. So by the end of this month, a survey will hit all of your cubbies where you can fill in the blanks or check mark what you would like to what you'd like to see. There's a few options there. A bunch of ideas have been thrown my way. I've heard another store, a massage therapy room, another game room. I've heard cannabis club. So I would like to hear from all of you so that we can really start to budget and figure out what's going to go in that space. So by the end of April, you'll all see something, and please provide your feedback. I want to hear from everybody. My next note is fitness room lockers. You may or may not have seen in the FYI this last Friday. If you don't know, there are lockers available in the fitness rooms, or in the restrooms. There are men and women lockers, and if you'd like one, you can sign up with Kim in the wellness office. Right now we're trying to track down which locker belongs to who. If you have one and you haven't already notified Kim, please let her know by, let's see, we've got April 25th, so in a few Fridays. We're hoping to have all of them named, and if not, we're going to be cutting the locks and donating what's in there. We also have some empty lockers that people are storing items in. If you are doing that, please let's get a lock so your belongings are safe, and let's let Kim know that you are using one of those lockers. COVID shots are taking place on Tuesday, April 29th in this room. I apologize in advance, fitness classes will be canceled that day, but the COVID shots are happening in here. And if you haven't signed up, you have until the 17th, which is a Thursday, next Thursday. You can sign up with Kim in the wellness office for that. And the Friday before, which is April 25th, you'll receive what we call boarding passes in your cubby. Those boarding passes will tell you what time you're scheduled to be here. So you'll come to the lobby if you haven't done this before, we'll check you in, and you'll get to come in and get your shots. Next item I have are outings. Outings are always fun. If you haven't been on one, I encourage you to do it. Coming up at the end of April, we have Mike and Jeannie Casey's Ranch, which those are our residents. If you haven't heard, they've got the longhorn cows. Then they're very excited to have us. So we have quite a list for that, and we can only accommodate 23 residents unless you want to drive yourself. If you do want to drive yourself, please let Sarah, the activities coordinator, know. But we're also looking at adding a second date because I think we've got about 50-something people signed up for this outing. Another outing that has about 50-something people signed up is the Neil Diamond Show in June. That, I hear a yes over here. That one we're having a little more trouble with. We've got 23 available, no, we have 32 tickets secured. They were able to give us 32 tickets, so we've got the small bus and the big bus going that day, so that 32 people can go. And then everybody else, we're working on seeing if we can get a few extra tickets or maybe an extra date. So stay tuned for that. And I promise I'm almost done. I wanted to make an announcement for the knitting group. I spoke to Mrs. Dowdy this morning, and she wanted to make sure everybody knows that the knitting group meets at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. You don't have to be a knitter. You can crochet, do any sort of needlework, but just come have fun. Come see if you're interested. So that's Saturdays at 10. Don't forget, pool class starts next Wednesday the 16th with Beth, 10:30. And my final announcement, because I just learned this about 10 minutes ago, I spoke to our Xfinity bulk package contact, and he says that if we do not see our sports channels by the end of this week, to let him know, because then he'll raise you know what, so that we can get our sports channels. He said we should be seeing them by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, he's going to take it up with the higher ups. So sports channels, I know it's really frustrating. We've got a lot of fun things going on right now, but we're working on it, they're working on it, and hopefully next week we'll have sports channels for everybody.
Can I get a sign of hands? Who has the sports packages? Because I receive, mixed messaging actually. Some have it, some don't. And
I just got a message this morning that this person's not able to watch the Warriors, so
yeah.
some people are still missing it. So I'm happy for you that are seeing it, but for those of you who aren't, we're working on it. We're not even able to see it here in the bar, so hopefully we'll be seeing that very, very soon. And I know that was a lot of information. If you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand and I'll answer to the best of my ability.
Gary has a question here.
Monica, on the contact list or that you're printing up, how many people signed up to get that, and is it more or less than you expected when you arranged for the printing?
It's about what I expected actually. I got 132 people signed up, and it's about half the community, so I expected about half. I did hear from someone this morning who didn't know that there was a list and didn't sign up, so I will hopefully have some extras, but about 132 people on my list.
I thought Gary's going to ask if you were in budget.
I hope he knows the answer. Any other questions?
Other questions for Monica. Monica is doing a wonderful job of keeping us all busy around here. You got somebody in the back.
So Monica, this is Sandra. Can you remind me the date for the Neil Diamond? I didn't put it on my.
June 8th.
June 8th. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
And again, if there's a lot of you signed up past the available sign-up lines. If you're not on one of those lines, you don't have a guaranteed spot. Just know that. But we'll let you know as soon as we have more information.
What
Mr.
is the
Black?
name of the young lady taking reservations?
Reservations or the front desk?
Reservations.
Reservations right now is Teresa. Yeah?
Yeah,
Teresa is the one at the reservation desk right now.
Teresa is one of our servers, and she's filling in until we get somebody. Teresa.
Yes. Any other questions before I take my seat? No?
Thank you, Monica.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we'll start with Richard Drake of the Communications Committee.
Well, your ad hoc communications committee has been busy. We have been collaborating with a number of other groups here on the technology front. The Association Software Work Group that Scott is leading, and which I'm also a member of, is working toward a recommendation to the board for new software package to. Okay. Maybe I'll fix this. There we go. New software package to help run the administration and management side. And we have a lot of expertise on the Ad Hoc Communications Committee, and so we get Scott's report, and we talk about that every month. We've also had interactions with the Auditory Enhancement Project, who are another great group working on trying to make the environment here more accessible to people with hearing issues, such as me. Then we have the Emergency Call System Work Group, and we have just received a very clear statement of the work that group is going to do, and again, I'm sure that will be coordinated with the Communications Committee as well. In addition, several members of the Communications Committee worked with Scott to publicize his promotion to General Manager to the larger Marin community, and I don't know whether any of you saw it, but I took a peek at the Marin IJ and I found a small reference. And it's actually a little disappointing considering how much time and effort we put into the article and the photograph. But what appeared in the Marin IJ said, quote, "Recognition, Scott Newman of Novato was named the new general manager of the Smith Ranch Homes Independent Living Community in San Rafael. He takes over the position from retiring general manager John Mauro, who held the position since 2004. Terry Pettengill and I and Scott did many iterations of what we hoped would be a much larger and article in the paper, which Scott richly deserves. So I think we ought to go back and talk to them again. At any rate, meanwhile, the three-person Smith Ranch Tech Buddies group, composed of me, myself, and I, continues to try to provide basic tech support for residents between the bi-weekly visits from our volunteer technical computer assistant, who has helped many residents and who has been clear to work with residents in their units now. So there's a sign up when he comes every other week, and if you have a tech issue, especially on the PC side that me, myself, and I are not very good at, you may want to sign up for his help. I want to thank all of the hardworking members of the committee: Lynn Brown, Jerry Lewis, Terry Pettengill, Dennis Porter, Marty Sennard, and Garrett Schultz, our new board liaison. And also acknowledge, the great work and the collaboration and what we get from Scott. And to thank Isabel Bergson for her outstanding administrative support that she provides to our committee. Thank you, Izzy. Great job as always. Okay. Any questions?
No questions for Richard?
Wait, actually, can I make a comment about the tech help?
Sure.
So Bob is now here every week. There is a sign-up sheet, and just to make sure, are you saying to go up there?
You gotta come up.
Oh, no, I don't want to. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, this is enough. Bob is now coming every week, not just twice a month. So he's now here every week. And when you sign up, he can either go into your home or meet you in the clubhouse. So if you do, just make sure you write down where you want to meet, because sometimes residents will say, come to my unit, but they'll be in the clubhouse or vice versa. So whatever you write down is where he's going to be.
I can tell you that I had Bob come to my house. He's been an hour with me, and he was very, very helpful.
Yeah, he is really good. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Richard. Richard is a very valuable asset to Smith Ranch. I can tell you that. He gets involved in lots of things, and we appreciate that very much. Okay, next is Charlene Harvey. And Charlene can talk to us about the Ad Hoc Enhancement Fund.
Okay. Whenever I stand up here to talk about the enhancement fund, I look out and I see a lot of new faces, and so I'm always afraid that people say, what is that fund anyway? So I'm just gonna take half a minute to remind everyone. This was started a few years ago. It's a fund that's supported entirely by the residents, is entirely voluntary, and we enhance things in the community, on the grounds, and we also the quality of life, so it can take various ways that we spend the money in the fund. Some of the things we've done in the past, just to remind you, with a latte machine and some equipment for the gym. We helped finish the croquet court and Yoshi's lovely painting in the clubhouse. So those are the kinds of things we've done in the past. But I really want to talk today is about our latest project. And our latest project is right out there, that patio. And I don't know about you, but when I look at that patio, I see very large open space with beautiful planting, no one there, no shade, and unused. And so when I look at it, I see enormous potential. So what we've been doing for the last over a year, the Enhancement Committee has been working very closely with the Architectural Committee to say, what can we do that would really make that place special, really make it the Smith Ranch outdoor living room, is the way I like to think about it. So what we've come up with, and you'll see pictures in the mailroom, and I want to thank Marilyn Schwartz because, Beverly Schwartz, excuse me. I really had hoped to get a graphic design for you so you could really see literally what it would look like, and I found that very difficult. And lots of artists here attempted, and they all said, that's not my field, I do watercolors, this and that. And she really came through for us, and it's not in scale, it's not exactly the way it would look, but I think it does give you a realized sense of what it could be. And what right now, last year, the Architectural Committee chose a firm to construct the pergola, which would be sitting on this side to the left. It's a very large pergola, would provide permanent shade. There's really easy upkeep. And under that would go 2 tables, 4 chairs for those of us who want to really dream of playing mahjong and bridge and rummikub outside on a beautiful day. On the other side of the patio would be comfortable seating so that it becomes someplace where you can read a book, have your friends join you for a drink before you go out to dinner. If you've been up in the pool and you can walk down and have lunch. We just see it as a real addition to this community. So where are we with it? Well, the funding is secure, pretty secure. We will obviously be welcoming more funding. And so right now it's really up to the board. The board has asked for, the Architectural Committee has approved it, the Landscape Committee is on board, we're on board, and rightly so, the board said we'd like to have community input, which is always a good idea. So your forms are there if you want to remark about whether you like it, do not like it. And I urge you to let the board know, because I have not heard, I've been talking about this project for a long time, I have not heard anyone say what a terrible idea. I've heard questions raised about, well, you know, the wind, will it hold up, will it do this, will it do that? I understand the questions, but no one has said to me, I don't like it, what a terrible idea. So I think the community is behind it, but it's always nice to make sure. So if you think it is a good idea, let the board know your positive thoughts too. And as far as the fundraising goes, I like to make it easy for donors. As I say, all contributions of any size are going to be really welcome. It's not a great time to be raising money with the stock market tanking, but that's life. And so I will be sending shortly, once the board gives me an okay, to a 1-page sheet describing the project, and I think I'll enclose a form because several people have said, I'd like to support you, but I've never supported anything here. How do I do it? So I might enclose the contribution form with it to make it easy for you. So if you would like to talk about either funding, helping to fund it, or just have more information, please call myself or anyone on the committee, and we'd be glad to meet with you out there or just chat with you or answer your questions. And I'm happy to answer some questions right now if you have a few that.
Any questions on that? Charlene, how long have you, I know you started a long time ago of thinking about the ad hoc enhancement fund project.
This
How
project,
long has it really been in effect?
oh, 3 years, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And over that 3-year time, she has been very successful in getting, as she enumerated, a lot of good projects done. And, you know, we could hire a professional project and fundraising person, but they wouldn't be near as good as the one we have. So let's give her a good hand.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks again, Charlie. Okay, next is Karen Verco. And Karen's going to talk to us about the Long Range Planning Committee, and she's still chair of that committee as well as being on the board, and she brings a lot of expertise to both.
Thank you, Glenn. As you know, 2024 was the first year of implementing our formal long-range plan, and you might also remember that that plan was pretty extensive. We had 85 goals with 147 strategies that we thought might be addressed in 2024 or at a future date. We knew that not everything would certainly get achieved right away. And so those things that rose to the top first were addressed first. And I just wanted to say that about 20 to 30 of those strategies actually were completed, and that we've marked on our chart completed, ongoing. Most things are ongoing. We've established processes that must continue, and that we recommend that are continued, and some things really are just a completed project. But, you know, 25 or 30 things was pretty a lot for 2024. And part of that thank you is to our committees and our staff who just pick those things. I don't want to say they pick the easiest things right away. They pick something that really that we could get their teeth into and work on. So we're very grateful that those things were done. Continuing immediately into 2025, the two largest projects are the CC&Rs project, the revision of that, and one of the outcomes of the revision of our CC&Rs will be the revision of our resident handbook. And it will most likely look very different going forward than in the past. And Scott's going, what? No. But I think it needs a little bit of shaking up to make it easier for you to read, easier for you to understand, to make it a little friendlier. That things aren't just a policy, it's the whys of why something is in place. But that's going to also take a while, even if all the CC&Rs are completed. That resident manual is going to be quite a project. So that we know is on the plate for 2025. And then, as Richard mentioned, the implementation of our new association management package. And this package will streamline both our internal processes and our resident communications. And that will also be a big chunk for all of us to be adjusting to, and that will take several months as well. And we realized that, the Long Range Planning Committee realized that with these many new projects already in place, that this is a difficult time to say, oh, let's add 40 more things that we've been thinking of. So our priority for the community is that we should complete what we've already started, and to get those things solidly in place before embarking on some new goals. So this is really our current plan. We'll be completing our long-term recommendations with a goal of having it reviewed by the board in August. And it's not going to be labeled the 2025 long-range plan. It'll be 2025 to 2028. I think it gives us a little bit more realistic approach of how things are accomplished and how things are thought through and how long it really does take to implement some of the bigger things. We'll be distributing the updated progress chart in probably mid-May to all of the committees for your review. At that time, you could suggest new things that we could put into the draft that we'll be giving to the board in August. And you'll have the time to go back to your committee, say, hey, is there anything else that's missing? This is what's currently in the 3-year plan. Is there something else that you've been thinking of? With that being said, new thoughts are welcome at any time. You don't have to wait until May. Just reach out. If you have something that's like nudging you saying, I've got to say this before I forget it, which is how I keep track of things. Reach out to any of the members of the Long Range Planning Committee, including Jim Holden, Lynn Brown, Charlene Harvey, Bonnie Stern, or myself. And we'll make sure that your goals and your thoughts and strategies get into our 3-year plan that we'll be presenting to the board in August. So, are there any questions?
Any questions for Karen? Karen, thank you very much for all that you do, both for the board and for the committee. Next on the list is Marianne Palevsky. She reported, I don't know if you remember, the last town hall meeting with the standing committees, because she informed us that she was going to be out of town. So she's very capable at what she does, and we thank her for her contributions too. So we move on to Linda Danford then. Linda is our librarian here. I don't know if she likes to be called a librarian or not.
So, the library seems to run pretty smoothly. I have ordered all the books for the year for the book club. Can you hear better now? Okay. I've ordered all the books for the book club, and 11 of the 12 are here, and the other one I'm having a little trouble with. So the people who are in the book club can go ahead and read books before their month if they want to. Other than that, the big thing always is people donating books, and I say this every time, but we have a lot of new residents here. We do take book donations, but we're not fond of people who just dump 5 books on the desk but don't note. And I have people here who are so good, they write a note and they tell me why they're leaving it and what their phone number is, and they'll take it back if we don't need it. There are other people who have gone online on the website to see if we already have the book before they bring it down, and then we have the people who just bring a bag and leave it. So other than that, we have 3 of us who do the computer and put books in and out. We're looking at a different library Dropbox because the one we have now gets so full that we have to move it away from the wall and lie it down to open the door and get the books out, which doesn't seem very efficient. And also, if people don't put the books in their spine first, they go like this and they're damaging books. So we're investigating getting a different box. Other than that, we have volunteers, and they kind of circle through the library whatever they want, and we have where we keep our books that we need reshelved that are already checked in, and it seems to be, to me, running okay.
Questions about the library? Linda, I will say this about it. You've got that place very, very well organized, and we appreciate that. Nancy went to visit a former resident at another retirement community yesterday, and they went to the library, and this resident said, this library is so disorganized, said I can never find a book in it, and said it's not like our Smith Ranch library. So I thought that was a nice compliment to you. Somebody did raise their hand, I understand. Victoria, go.
Yeah. Yes, Linda, I have the subscription to the Spanish magazine Hola.
I can't hear.
I have the subscription to the magazine Hola, and the ones I have already read, I have left them in the library. Is that okay, or is just the news?
Are those the magazines?
Yeah, and they are written in Spanish. I don't
People
know.
have been reading those, and we try to, but we try to keep the most recent ones.
Okay.
I'm not sure what we should do with them. I think we probably throw them out if that's okay with you.
No, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay.
So they're on the table.
So should I continue bringing the ones that?
You can keep on doing that. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Any other questions? Thank you again for what you do. She puts a lot of work into that library, I'll tell you. Now Marcy Leach with the Scholarship Committee, and this is a very important project to Smith Ranch.
Pictures, hopefully, we'll see how this goes. My name is Marcy Leach, and I represent.
Microphone. No cursing, okay?
I said darn. Okay, and I represent what's called the Marin Retirement Community Scholarship Fund, but I really represent Smith Ranch Homes and our scholarship fund. And the ones that we care about are the, still don't have it right? No. The ones that we're taking care of at this point are the ones that are children, employees' children or grandchildren of employees that are here. So I'm looking for one particular one. Okay, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, and it's Raul Feminilla. You want to stand up, Raul? Okay. All right, and he's on our committee. And also Dean Porter is our liaison with the board. And our staff person is Natalia, and I don't see Natalia Abbott here. But she's so helpful with particularly recruiting the students and speaking with the families. Let me look at my notes. Okay. So we support current students and recruit new students who are employees or children or grandchildren of employees. And we have 4 new students, and I will read their names. Read them along with me. And Izzy, come up here, please. Come on. You're at the top of the list. Yeah. Oh, it's just wonderful. So Izzy is number 1 because she's B for Bergson, right? So, but she's number 1. And then we have Emily Diaz, and Emily is the daughter of Anselma de Leon, who's a housekeeper. Humberto Lopez, who's the son of Magdalena Lopez, who's a custodian, and Joseline Saban, the daughter of Francisco Saban, a maintenance painter. And also, besides them, we have the ones from last year. Yeah. That's Estrella Aviles, and I think she's about in her last year of nursing school. Luis Hernandez, who is going into his family business and learning a lot about business. And Flavio, I didn't say who they were, daughter of Juan Aviles, and Luis Hernandez is the son of Jose Morales, the cook. And Flavio Turo, who is the son of Felix, who we all know is a server. So there's a lot of students and a lot of enthusiasm as we start the school year. You will have a chance to meet them. There will be a reception in August, and at that time we'll introduce them and kind of give them a send-off for college. So, and then the other part of it, of course, is that I'm always taking donations, but I'm kind of hesitating right now. I know that times are hard for some people. So if you absolutely want to, I'll always take a donation, but I'm going to kind of sit on that and just encourage your thoughts and prayers for those that are embarking on something really exciting. Oh, and I have brochures if anybody wants them. And thank you for the help.
Any questions about the scholarship fund? So we have, how many is that? 7?
Yeah.
7?
And one has graduated.
I think that's more than we've ever had since at least in the 7 years I've been here.
I'm working on at least one more every year, so.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's a good job on that. That's very important. So Izzy, you're gonna get mad at me for doing this. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in school. Well, you need it there.
For school?
Yeah.
Why don't you come up here in front of the audience? Maybe sit at the lectern. We do want to see your face, and for those at home.
I think you're on.
We'll get Mr. Phillips back, Izzy, don't worry.
So when I came back to California, I started in accounting. I finished a certificate in accounting last year. I am planning on finishing at College of Marin with an AS in business, and then continue on to a 4-year in either business and finance, or maybe community management, since that will be an option in the near future at least one university in California. So we'll see.
Good for you, Eugene. See there, she's gonna get me back. You love me anyway there, don't you? Did you say you doubt it? Is that what you said? That you doubt that she?
I just had a question. I just want to make sure she's still going to be working here while she's going to school.
Yeah,
I mean,
Izzy,
fall apart on a lot.
we won't let Izzy get away. No, there's no way.
Thank goodness for online classes. I'm able to do it all while still working full time, so I'm here.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Scott, you need to tell us a few things about what's going on. Our wonderful, I won't call him new because he's been here too many years to call him new, but our wonderful general manager.
Yeah, I'm heading into my second month, so got everything handled, and you can take it the rest of the way. No, just a couple little updates. I appreciate Monica taking the time to do a nice resident services update. On these months where we maybe have less committee members presenting or chairpersons, we were thinking about finding ways to maybe engage the management team or even some other outside speakers just to give us a short presentation. So if you have some ideas of what you would like to maybe see our management team talk about, some internal operations, how does an idea turn into a work order, however it may be, please come ping me some ideas. Our team is very excited to stand in front of you and talk to you about their workflows. So I told everybody, just picture everyone in their underwear, it'll be okay, don't worry about it. And Monica, I hope you had a good time doing that today. So thank you for doing that. Just to shift on a couple other items. Starting in June, we're going to be entering into fire season, wildfire season, and that goes until about October. I'm working with our management team right now to commit to a schedule for each building this spring, summer, and early fall to have a fire drill. Last year, there was maybe 2 buildings that had one. I think the expectation we should require is that every building has 1 fire drill per year at the least. So we're going to be working on that internally now, and whether it's May or June, we're going to start. But that's also a lot of buildings in a short amount of time. So maybe 2 buildings a month, 1 building per month, we'll work on that. But let me ask you, true or false, when you hear a fire alarm, do you treat it as a test and you don't do anything about it? True or false? False, exactly right. Okay, you're already 1 for 1, this is good. Let's shift from fire to earthquake. During an earthquake, do you evacuate your unit and building, or do you stay in place? Raise your hand if you evacuate immediately during an earthquake. Okay, raise your hand if you shelter in place and don't leave your unit and building. There we go. 2 for 2. Just in case you forget, these directories that you'll be receiving shortly on the inside flap has been reviewed again for emergency processes for fire and earthquake. So we put that in there as well, but stay tuned for another update on a drill schedule. I love a whodunit. There's a lot of great mysteries out there, but what I don't like are whodunits here at Smith Ranch Homes. And while we would like to think gates and gate houses and 24-hour patrol services, note we don't call it security, we really do long for a safe, comfortable environment, but darn it if there's not a caper that pops up once in a while. We just experienced another loss of an e-bike on campus here. And Monica and Kim and I were actually already talking about the bike program, about how maybe we could register some bicycles in a program and maybe have a better monitoring system. While we want to improve some of our systems, we can't guarantee 100% safety and security. We know that's the reality. But we can also find new ideas to help bolster our best practices. And it starts with you, seeing something, saying something. So if you see something that just looks out of the ordinary, please contact the gatehouse. They're there 24 hours a day and they'll be able to dispatch their rovers. But we are also already in the midst of improving some additional surveillance cameras. I don't want to make this to feel like a police state, but we do have the ability to expand our surveillance. In the library for years, everybody wanted to know, where are those crumbs coming from on a Saturday morning? Well, we installed the cabling and we're actually about to deploy a camera in the library. We have one in the valet area as well coming. The cabling has been laid this month. Next month we're actually going to install it. So there'll be a camera in the valet patrol kind of porte-cochere area, if you will. And then also the pedestrian gate at the main gatehouse. There's a pedestrian gate of people coming through. We're going to have a camera there as well. Right now it's just been eye of sight of the gatehouse. So we're adding that to the menu we already have. So we're trying to find better ways, but I just, darn it, can't do everything and control every area. But please, again, see something and say something. Last couple items here is when I came on board in March, a lot of you said we want strong, decisive leadership out of the general manager position. I said, okay. So Exhibit A on this that I can bring forth to the community today, outside this room, there's a little gadget called the Geochron. Does anybody know what a Geochron is? Right? Okay. Well, outside next to our display board, there's a little gizmo on the wall that's been out of service for the last 3 to 5 years. And it's a world map, and it's a light that moves along and shows where sunlight is throughout the world. This was a donation from a resident, and it went defunct. Different ideas say 3 years ago, other ones said 5 years ago. I can say that my strong leadership and decisive strategic planning worked with the management team, and we found the light bulb and additional extra wiring to get that thing back online. So thank you, Geochron, you're back in service. Thank you. But in terms of leadership too, I brought a financial manager candidate yesterday. I have another candidate meeting with me today and another candidate meeting with me tomorrow. I've always kind of said to myself, if I'm willing to bring somebody to meet mom and dad, they're probably a serious potential candidate. And so right now I'm not expanding this meet and greets to others, but I just wanted to have a successful in-person meeting following a positive online meeting. So we are getting to phase 2 of some of my commitments to candidate reviews, and we're really hoping that we're going to find a financial manager here much sooner than later. And for everybody who says we need one, I'm number 1 in that list that says we need one. So we're zeroing in and hope to get somebody in place soon.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Any members of the board have anything they want to report? Tom or Dean? Anybody? No reports? Okay. Scott, I am so glad you're getting that thing on the wall around. We've been missing that so much around here that your number 1 project.
I felt it.
Thank you. Okay. Now, we will move to an open forum, and anything you want to talk about, we will try to address. We want to be as transparent as possible. There are some subjects, of course, that are confidential when it comes to personnel and resident issues and so on. But other than that, anything you want to talk about. So do we have any questions from the residents?
How about tariffs?
How about what?
Tariffs.
Paris?
Tariffs.
I don't know about that.
I hope we don't get any.
Yeah, I do too. Anyway, no questions out here. Well, I've got a couple, okay? And Mike just left. Now I was going to ask him what's going on with the CCNR upgrade. Does anybody know? Is anybody involved in that? You know anything about it, Jack?
Well, I do work with Karen and Gary on that project as well. And Karen, maybe I'll just say, and if I'm missing something, the ball is squarely with our attorney. We are waiting for their return to us with their draft, and so we have no movement, although we constantly pepper them with reminders and nudges.
That's an important project that a small group is addressing. Sarah Jensen.
I wanted to ask about the lights being on in the middle of the day, like the pole lights outside or the ones on the walkways, and also what's going on with the ceiling of the covered walkway that runs from 600 over to here. It has like patched paint and pieces coming loose.
May I take that, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, you may, please.
Unless you'd like to? Okay. Let's go down in order. So the lighting. We've noticed that during the season when there's maybe a dreary morning and we're outside of our usual standard lighting times, we'll manually turn on the lights, particularly around the porte cochere to kind of improve entering and exiting. But we're also on a system where all the lights turn on at the exact same time too on the property. They're not bifurcated into zones. So when we turn them on in the morning, sometimes the sun comes out and we should turn them off again, and we're not always doing that. Just to plant a seed with the community, we have funding for exterior lighting improvements. One of the areas that we'd like to look at, instead of adding additional lighting right now, maybe we need to get a smarter system that controls everything so that we can get a much more modernized, controllable system so we don't suffer those same consequences. So to be determined on that. As for the walkways, I know the maintenance department is engaged with bringing on a painter onto our staff. We have a painter on our staffing model, but they're not always doing painting, and there's no shortage of painting projects. That includes the underside of the covered walkways and probably a whole host of other places, I could say. So I know there was some patchwork done because there was some cracking going on in different areas, so the patching has been done, but now we need the painting, and we're expecting that to be done forthwith.
I've seen Nicholas working on the ones down by the grill room. I haven't seen that. Janet McDonald. Let's get a microphone to Janet, please. Janet, we'll get you a microphone.
Well, the comment was the patching hasn't been done over by 100 either, and that's right. There's a lot of painting projects, including patching, that needs to be done. And Nicholas is not our painter. He's a Tech 2, and we want him to be doing Tech 2 type work, so we're going to be bringing on people to be dedicated to those types of improvements. That's curb appeal that I'm sure Coldwell Banker would appreciate too when they're walking their candidates through the campus. We're cleaned up.
Okay, Victoria?
I would like to know if you are still patrolling during the night, because I don't see anymore the lights of the little golf carts when I go to bed late. I used to see the lights of the golf carts checking, the areas. I don't see that anymore.
I can assure you that there is a patrol rover schedule throughout the property. There's a little computer software program that we have that they ping beacons throughout the property. So I know they're doing that. Whether it's timed with your curtains and their lights, that I can't guarantee you, but I can assure you that is going.
Okay, any other questions? I want to thank the people that tune in on 1981. I'm hearing more and more feedback from them that they are watching. People saying, I wasn't at the meeting, but I watched it on 1981. And more people are telling me that. And I want to thank Monica and Dean Porter and others, Izzy, that have worked on that to get us, and Richard, that have helped us to get us a good TV broadcast. And that's very helpful in getting more and more people who can't quite make it to the meetings, but they are involved anyway through 1981. So I want to thank you guys for doing that. Okay, if there's any other questions, subjects, anything else? It is 1 minute to 3, so we're under an hour. Okay, I now declare this meeting.